This video is made for adult collectors because throughout some parts of this video, the jib boom at the front of the boat is on upside down. My bad. I'm probably gonna get copyrighted if I continue doing that, even though I'm singing that poorly on purpose so I don't get copyrighted. I don't understand the system. It makes no sense. It's a boat. I love pirate ships. You know, people who really like trains or cars or like planes. Mine's pirate ships and old like sailing ships like that. Galleons, man-o'-wars, brigs, etc. I play Sea of Thieves every once in a while, but I do love it. And my favorite Assassin's Creed game is Black Flag. My favorite type of Lego sets are boats. So when I was told this was a thing, I was all over it. And now it's here in my house and I love this thing. Metal Cardbot strikes again with Blackhook, a pirate ship that turns into a, well, pirate. The boat's cool with the head sticking out. Oh look, a Puth, that's a callback. This is a sloop, I believe, but it is neat, though it's massive because of the top deck here and all that. I do like all the space on the actual deck at the front, and there are cannons below that. I also just noticed the eyes. They're hidden quite well because there's no cockpit to put them on, so they don't stand out as much. The sail is skinny, mainly so that it fits in the legs, but part of me does wish it was a little wider, like it could fold out from the back or something. I do like the jib boom on the front. It sticks out pretty far and makes it look more intimidating, even if mine is currently upside down. The torso is chunky and doesn't really hide well, and the head is just hanging out there for all to see, and those are really the only visual things I don't like about this. He comes with this thing, which is his card and some robot mode weapon parts that, again, don't store anywhere on the alt mode, but I guess it's typical at that point. I still wish it could store somewhere. So the camera is in the wrong spot. There we go. So, this thing's transformation is so complicated. I'm kidding. It's the easiest thing in the world. It's very fun to do back and forth, except for this bit right here, which I will talk about in a second. But like one more thing I just want to talk about that I forgot to write it in the thing, is the plastic feels fine. There are some bits where it feels a bit like, again, slightly knockoffy, and while it doesn't feel like the plastic sweats, it still feels a bit glossy and weird in some spots. Like the gold parts here feel like average Transformer plastic, but then the blue parts feel a little bit glossier and slicker and not the most fun thing to feel in the hand. Like this feels better, but this is still not bad. It's thick, which I like. The part walls are huge. So to start with, we are going to split the legs, and this is just going to fall out. Then you want to fold the sails in. I love how they collapse into place, and they peg in, by the way, right there. But they don't peg in here. However, they thoop into place, so that's fine. You fold the feet up at the front, and he's also, like, the cannons are here, but it kind of looks like the cannons then move to be right here on the front of his feet, which I think is neat. This part, so you have to unclip this, right? There's a little peg right there that goes in. Getting this into place in boat mode is a pain in the butt because you have to sort of like flex this really chunky piece out to shove that into place, and it can be a little annoying at first. Then you want to split the upper deck here, rotate the head around, bring the arms down and fold out the wrists. So bring the arms down, fold out the wrists. He's got anchors on his arms. That's really cool. Then you take this section here, and there is a little clip me do thing and a C-clip up here. So that folds up and pegs into place. And then you fold the legs down, split the legs, and then there is Blackhook's robot. And then you take this piece right here, you split this open, and that goes in his hand. We'll put it in this hand, actually, because this, I'll talk a little bit more about this in a second, but we'll show you how to transform this now. You take this off, you rotate this down, fold it in half, and then you slide both cannons up if they want to go up. And then you close that up, and that'll peg into the shoulder. You got a rangefinder, peg that into the shoulder. And there you have Blackhook in his robot mode. That's very fun to do back and forth. The only thing, again, that I don't like is these, and I kind of wish they had a more graceful way to like store back here. They just sort of don't do anything. I wish that they had guns molded in here, and then you could fold them over his shoulder, because you can flip that up if you want the missiles, but like these don't do anything other than hang down here and look a bit annoying. Easy ass transformation, and this looks badass. I love the aesthetic it's going for, leaning full into the pirate motif. The hat with the eye patch and the face battle mask thing mixed in works really well, and the flare out shoulder pads, the cuffs on the wrist, and the large boots. I love how the sail folds up to collapse onto the knees. It's such a clean robot. Well, for the most part. The back of this figure is just some ship parts hanging out. Like I said earlier, it is a bit ungraceful and I wish they did something else. I love the colors they picked. The vibrant metallic blue, the sharp red, the clean white accented by gold. He has a pickaxe, which is a weird thing to give to a pirate, but the card now comes into play. Taking it off, you can then turn this thing into that cannon I showed earlier. Not one he can hold, but one that clips onto his shoulder, and that looks super badass. Mix that with the missiles on his back and he's definitely ready to plunder like anything, including your wallet when you go to buy this toy. The joints feel okay. They are a bit rattly and there is play in the hip ratchets. It doesn't fall, but it doesn't feel nice. The shoulders are also slightly gummy, but we'll get to that later. He is a larger guy, akin to those older-ish leaders, but smaller than like Blast Train or Gigantrek. His articulation could be better, but at least this time he has thigh swivels. Before I do the articulation for this, I wanted to bring up this pamphlet. I got this at New York Toy Fair when I went to the Agabus booth and talked to the distributors for metal Cardbots, because, you know, there they are. And I just wanted to quickly point something out. So inside this pamphlet is, you know, the business card and all. This is what you get handed at New York Toy Fair from booth. But in this pamphlet there's Blackhook and the original MSRP. So he would have been $32.99 that's the pre-tariff price. But yeah, that's wave 1 and wave 2 of the metal Cardbots being imported to at least America. They told me they were going to work on Canada, but they made a fully articulated version of this. But anyways, Blackhook's articulation is not great. Like the other metal Cardbots we've looked at, this is not exactly what this is made for. It does poses, but it shares the amount of articulation with Widow, who is considerably smaller. So to start with, the head is on a ball joint, a really nice ball joint. He can tilt his head left and right. That's such a great thing. Look up that far and look down that far. And then you have full rotation. The shoulders, they can soft ratchet around. I kind of wish there was a bit more teeth though, because it's either this or really far back is the next one when I want to get him into like a natural sort of stance. The shoulders can go out only about that far. The cuff does kind of get in the way. If you rotate the arm this way, it goes out further, but yeah, the cuff gets in the way. You do have a bicep rotation. You do have an elbow bend that bends about 90 degrees, and then the wrist can flip inward. So he can actually point his pickaxe, which I am now realizing is technically like an anchor that he's using as a weapon, which is pretty cool. There is no waist joint. However, it does wiggle here. It wiggles. And like, it is a separate component, but the way that they've done this bit right here with the crotch, it kind of goes over top and into this. It doesn't rotate. And like, I've pulled on it, I've slid it, I've tried everything. There is no waist joint there, at least not to me. I can't get it to work. The hips, they can go forward that far. If you move the backpack out of the way, they can go back that far, and then get the arms out of the way. He can do a full splits, nice ratchet joint in there. But again, there's a little bit of play between each click, so he kind of stands a bit weird. He does have a thigh rotation, which is one up against the other two. Ratcheted knee that bends just a little under 90 degrees. And then the toes can move down, I guess. Like, yeah, it's nothing to really write home about. You can't do much with this thing posing wise, but honestly, I don't really feel like I need to, because he just looks so intimidating standing there. Like, we're gonna move the camera down here, get a lower angle of sorts, zoom in a bit. Like, that looks cool, and he does not need to be in a pose. So I'm okay with this thing not being super duper articulated, but it would be nice if they made one. So I love this thing and would like it in new colors, or if like they do a super posable one like they did with that big truck dude whose name I forget. God, I want that. This is coming out in the US though for tariff prices, but if you can get this for cheap, then I would highly recommend it. Again, I asked about Canada, that's where I live, and they don't know yet, but hopefully soon. This thing though is a lot of fun. I picked it up off AliExpress, not sponsored, so there's that avenue if you want to go that route. I'm definitely displaying this with my Silent Mary though. God, I need that black pearl. It's so expensive. But that's my look at Metal Cardbot's Blackhook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.